feeling scattered, pulled in 1,000 directions by a world that never stops. There is a path back to your center, a way to unify your body and mind. Stay with me, because the third and final step is the key that unlocks a profound and lasting peace you might be searching for. Grounded presence. Let us begin with a simple yet incredibly profound foundation. It is the very ground upon which you stand, the way your body occupies space. In our modern lives, we often forget this. We live in our minds, in our screens, in our projections of the future and our memories of the past. The body becomes a forgotten vessel, something to carry our head from one meeting to the next. But this is a great misunderstanding. Your body is not a vehicle. It is your only true home in this lifetime. It is the anchor that holds you in the present moment, the only place where life is actually happening. How you hold this home, the posture you adopt, sends constant, subtle messages to your nervous system, to your mind. A slumped posture with a collapsed chest and a forward head physically constricts the lungs and the heart. But more than that, it communicates a story of defeat, of burden, of withdrawal from the world. Your mind will then try to make sense of this physical signal, and it will generate thoughts and emotions that match this posture. Feelings of sadness, of being overwhelmed, of low energy. The body tells the mind a story, and the mind believes it. Now, consider the opposite. Imagine a great mountain. It is not rigid or tense, but it is unshakable. It has a powerful, settled presence. It is rooted deep in the earth, and its peak reaches for the sky. This is the quality we can cultivate within our own physical structure. It begins with awareness. Right now, wherever you are, bring your attention to your points of contact with the world. Feel your feet on the floor. Don't just think about them. Truly feel the sensation of the ground supporting you. Feel the weight of your body in your chair. Allow yourself to be fully supported. From this foundation, imagine a fine golden thread attached to the very crown of your head, gently lifting you upwards. Your spine elongates, not through force, but through a gentle release. Your shoulders, which so often carry our tensions, can relax and drop away from your ears. Your chest opens, creating space for your heart, for your breath. This is not a military posture of stiffness. It is an alignment of dignity, of openness, and of readiness. It is a structure that is both stable and relaxed. By simply adjusting your physical form in this way, you are changing the entire conversation between your body and your mind. You are now sending a new signal. This upright, open posture communicates a story of confidence, of capability, of being present and available to life. Your mind, receiving these new signals from the body, will begin to change its own state. The frantic, worried thoughts may begin to lose some of their power. A sense of calm, of stability can begin to emerge. It's a very direct form of communication. We so often try to fix our mind with our mind, to think our way out of anxiety or stress. This is like trying to calm a stormy sea with a cup. But by first grounding ourselves in the physical body, by building a stable and dignified structure, we create the conditions for the mind to settle on its own. It is the first essential step. You are telling your entire being, through the language of posture, I am here, I am stable, I am safe. This is not a one-time fix, it is a practice. Every time you find yourself slumping over your desk or your phone, you have an opportunity, not to judge yourself, but to gently guide yourself back to this place of grounded presence. Each time you do this, you are strengthening a new neural pathway. You are retraining your entire system to exist in a state of greater balance and ease. Before we can work with the subtler energies of the breath and the mind, we must first build a proper home for them. Your body is that home. Make it a palace of peace, not a prison of stress. The power of this practice lies in its accessibility. You do not need a special room, special equipment, or even a special time. You can practice this right now. You can practice it while waiting in line, while sitting in a car, while cooking a meal. It is a continuous return to your physical self. Think of it as tuning an instrument. Before a beautiful piece of music can be played, the instrument must be in tune. Your body is your instrument for experiencing life. Bringing your posture into alignment is the act of tuning this instrument. When it is tuned, the energy can flow more freely. Your perception of the world can change. You might notice that when you are physically grounded and open, you are less reactive to external events. A difficult email or a challenging conversation might still occur, in the same way that a storm might pass by the mountain, but it does not shake your core. You have an anchor. You are no longer a leaf blown about by every wind of circumstance. You are the mountain. Start here. Pay attention to how you carry yourself through the world. This is not about vanity or looking a certain way for others. This is an internal practice of self-respect and wisdom. It is the understanding that your physical state and your mental state are not two separate things, but two sides of the same coin. By changing one, you inevitably influence the other. This is the first step on the path to reclaiming your own center, to finding the quiet strength that already exists within you. Conscious breathing. Now that we have established a stable and open structure for our body, we can turn our attention to the force that animates it. This is the breath. The breath is the most remarkable and mysterious process. It is the bridge between our voluntary and involuntary worlds. You can consciously choose to hold your breath or to breathe deeply, yet the moment you forget, it continues on its own, sustaining your life without any effort from your conscious mind. It is the constant, rhythmic dance between you and the universe, the exchange of life force that happens in every single moment. Just like posture, we have largely forgotten how to breathe. Observe a sleeping baby. You will see their little belly rise and fall with each breath. They are breathing deeply, naturally, using their full lung capacity. This is our natural state. But as we grow and accumulate stress, tension, and trauma, our breathing patterns change. They become shallow, rapid, and confined to the upper chest. This is the breath of anxiety, the breath of fight or flight. It sends a continuous alarm signal throughout our entire nervous system, keeping us in a state of high alert, even when there is no real danger present. We live with this low-level alarm ringing constantly, and we wonder why we feel exhausted and anxious. The second step on this path is to reclaim the breath, to transform it from an unconscious, stress-driven reaction into a conscious tool for calming and centering the self. The practice is, once again, beautifully simple. It begins with observation. Without trying to change anything, simply bring your awareness to the fact that you are breathing. Place a hand on your belly. For a few moments, just feel the subtle movement, or perhaps the lack of movement, as the air enters and leaves your body. There is no judgment here. You are simply becoming acquainted with your own life rhythm. This act of observation is powerful in itself. It pulls your mind out of its usual frantic loop of thoughts and anchors it to a tangible, physical sensation in the present moment. After a few moments of simple observation, we can begin to guide the breath. As you inhale, gently invite the breath to travel deeper, down into your belly, so that you feel your hand rise. Imagine you are filling a balloon in your lower abdomen. Then, as you exhale, allow the belly to soften and fall. The key here is gentleness. There should be no strain, no force. The goal is not to take the biggest breath possible, but the most relaxed breath possible. This type of breathing, often called diaphragmatic breathing, has a profound effect on your physiology. It directly stimulates the vagus nerve, which is a primary component of the body's relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system. When you breathe deeply and slowly into your belly, you are sending a powerful signal to your brain that says, all is well, you are safe, you can relax. This signal counters the fight or flight response. The heart rate slows down, blood pressure can decrease, and muscles can release their stored tension. You are using the bridge of the breath to consciously shift your own nervous system from a state of stress to a state of calm. One of the most effective practices is to focus on the exhale. Try making your exhalation just a little bit longer than your inhalation. For instance, you might breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 6. The long, slow exhale is a primary trigger for the relaxation response. It is like a gentle sigh of release that you are offering to your entire body. As you continue this practice, you integrate it with the first step. You maintain your grounded, open posture, which creates the physical space for the breath to move freely. A collapsed posture makes deep breathing impossible. An aligned posture invites it. The two steps support and enhance one another. This is not something reserved for meditation on a cushion. This is a tool you can use anytime, anywhere. Before a difficult conversation, take 3 conscious belly breaths. When you feel overwhelmed by your to-do list, pause and take 5 conscious breaths, making the exhale longer than the inhale. When you are stuck in traffic, instead of tensing up, you can use that time to practice. Each conscious breath is an act of reclaiming your power. You are interrupting the cycle of unconscious stress and consciously choosing a state of calm. You are training your mind and body to respond to challenges, not with panic, but with presence. This practice transforms the breath from something that is dictated by your emotional state to something that dictates your emotional state. You are no longer at the mercy of your anxious breathing. You are the gentle guide of your own inner peace. As you become more familiar with this practice, you will notice a space beginning to open up. It is a space between an external event and your reaction to it. In that space lies your freedom. The breath is the key that unlocks that space. It is the constant, reliable friend that is always with you, waiting to guide you back home to a place of stillness and clarity. Silent observation. We have now built our foundation. We have a grounded, stable body, and we are connected to the calming rhythm of a conscious breath. We have created the ideal conditions for the third and final step, which is perhaps the most subtle, yet the most transformative. This step involves turning our awareness inward to observe the nature of the mind itself. For many of us, the mind feels like a chaotic, noisy place. It is a relentless stream of thoughts, judgments, worries, plans, and memories. We feel as though we are those thoughts. We believe their stories, and we get swept away by the emotions they generate. We spend our lives on a turbulent river of thinking, tossed about by the currents, rarely ever experiencing the quiet, stable riverbed beneath. The goal of this third step is not to stop the river, which is an impossible task that only creates more struggle. The goal is to learn how to step out of the current and simply sit on the bank, watching the water flow by. It is the practice of becoming the silent observer of your own mind. The practice begins by finding your anchor. This anchor is your grounded body from the first step, and your conscious breath from the second. You sit, maintaining your dignified posture, and you bring your attention to the physical sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. This is your home base. Inevitably, within a few seconds, a thought will arise. Your mind will wander. It might start planning dinner, or replaying a conversation from yesterday, or worrying about tomorrow. This is the natural activity of the mind. The moment you realize your attention has drifted, that is the moment of magic. That is the moment of awakening. In that instant, you are no longer lost in the thought. You have become aware of the thought. You are the observer. The crucial instruction here is what you do next. The common tendency is to judge or scold ourselves. Oh, I can't do this. I can't focus. This is just another thought, another current in the river. Instead, the practice is one of immense gentleness. You simply acknowledge the thought without judgment, as if you were noticing a cloud passing in the sky. You see it, you recognize it is just a thought, and then you gently, kindly guide your attention back to your anchor, the feeling of the breath. This process will repeat itself over and over again. You bring your attention to the breath. A thought arises and carries you away. You notice you are gone. You gently return. This is the practice. It is not about achieving a state of no thought. It is the continuous, patient, and compassionate act of returning. Each time you do this, you are fundamentally changing your relationship with your mind. You are learning through direct experience that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness in which the thoughts are appearing. This is a profound shift in identity. The thoughts, the worries, the anxieties, they are no longer the totality of who you are. They are simply weather patterns passing through the vast open sky of your consciousness. The sky is not disturbed by the clouds. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains vast, open, and peaceful. You are learning to identify with the sky, not with the clouds. This is where true freedom is found. This practice, cultivated in moments of stillness, begins to permeate your entire life. As you go about your day, you will start to notice your own thought patterns with a new clarity. You might see a wave of anger arise within you after a particular trigger. Before you would have become the anger, you would have been completely consumed by it, likely saying or doing things you would later regret. But now, with this training, a small space of observation exists. You can feel the physical sensations of anger in your body. You can see the angry thoughts appearing in your mind. But a part of you remains the calm, silent observer. You can see the wave, but you don't have to be swept away by it. You can choose how to respond instead of being driven by an unconscious reaction. This is the integration of the 3 steps. Your grounded presence gives you the stability not to be knocked over. Your conscious breath gives you the tool to calm the nervous system's immediate reaction. And your silent observation gives you the wisdom to see the emotion for what it is, a temporary energy passing through you, not the truth of who you are. This is the clarity, the profound peace that was promised. It is not an escape from life, but a deeper, more intimate and wiser way of participating in it. This journey is not about adding more complexity to your life, but about returning to the simple, powerful truths that are always available to you. The stability of your own body, the rhythm of your own breath, and the quiet awareness that witnesses it all. These are not concepts to be understood, but experiences to be lived. They are your anchors in the storm, your compass in the fog. The path is not an outward race to find something you lack, but a gentle inward return to the profound and unshakable peace that has been waiting for you all along. The part about being the sky, not the clouds, literally brought tears to my eyes. For my entire life, I've been fighting the clouds, trying to make them go away, and getting so exhausted. Realizing that I am the space in which they happen is a shift I can't even describe. This is the most practical spiritual advice I've ever heard. Day 1 of practicing this. Who else is starting this journey today?